Today we're going to be working on some stub journals. It's all 1018 material. And we're going to kind of show you the process that we go through working on this, kind of highlight the way we do things. There's 100 ways to do it. We tend to stick with all of our information comes from the American Welding Society as far as our preheats, filler metal, everything. That information we get directly from the AWS. This is Adcock's Welding Service. We're going to show you some fabrication, some weld out, some finished products, and we'll go from there. We'll start off with doing some tack up. We have this one's complete. This one is partial. We just have it tacked up with the flange on. There's bevels cut in also that we'll be welding up. So this was machined by Saber Machine. That's who we're doing this project for today. They do an excellent job, and everything is fit very close and tight. So we're going to ease this on. Get a little bump down to make sure it's seated. And then we'll tack it off. Then we'll start our preheat. Okay. You'll notice that every time we make a weld before we start the next, we're going to wire brush and clean it up good. Some people do, some people don't. To me, it's very critical to have everything as clean as you possibly can as you're going. Because who wants to fight that last layer of flux or debris? You know, the cleaner you get it, the easier it's going to go for you, and the less likely you're going to have any type of inclusions that can cause a bad weld. Got that. We're going to warm it up a little bit, get the moisturized material, get the hydrogens out of it. So we give ourselves the very best shot of making it as strong as we possibly can. Some 332s because we are welding down into a bevel, and we want to tie in the very bottom of that bevel as best we can. And then we'll come back and we'll cap with some 532 rods. And I will be going back and forth between these two, just so I can keep the temperature up on it and not have to go through the preheat process again. I'll bring you guys over and let you see this so you'll understand what we're doing. Anyway, there we go. We got a little bevel on our parts. We're running a 332 for our first round. so that we can penetrate all the way to the bottom of that bevel. These parts are going to be machined off, so the biggest mistake you can make is trying to fill it all at one time. You want to get that bead down into the bottom of that bevel so that you're getting as much penetration as possible, because also on these they're going to come back and machine the top off. Okay, we've got the root bead run in on both of these. Now we're going to turn our heat up and switch over to a 532 electrode so we can cap them off. So if you ever hear that term root bead, that's normally what they're talking about, is to fill in the first bead that goes into the bottom of the bevel. Then your cap bead will be, of course, the bead that caps it off and fills it out completely so that it can be machined, or, you know, depending on the application, what's done with it from there. Now we're trying to run our cap bead, and normally on low high, if you're in the right range, the flux is going to peel right off. Let me clean this up a little bit. That's all we're doing. We're finishing off. We're filling in the bevel. We're bringing it just over flush so that the machine shop can slick it back. And it'll have just one clean finish all the way across. We're going to finish welding these out, and we're going to flip them over and do the weld that's going to come right across on the opposite side. That'll complete these. So I'm going to burn these out, and then we'll show you the finish on the top. We'll do a rollover. We'll show you what the finish on the outside will look like, and then we'll show one more shot with everything cleaned up, and then we've got to get these back to the machine shop so they can do their part. And that is the finish pass. We have just enough height and build up so the machine shop can clean it back down. Nice wet edges till it's tied in real good. So we've got that done. Now we're going to flip them over and finish the last pass that we'll have to put on, and then it should prep, clean up, and take them back to the machine shop so that they can finish what they got to do. Now we're going to work on doing, since we're not welding into a bevel now, we're doing what is known as a fillet weld. So we're going to continue to use the 532s. We're going to go around at one time, one and done. Show you what the finish looks like on these welds. You may notice that we can't stay 100% consistent because of the bolt holes are real close, so we're having to kind of fade the weld out. And as we clean it, we're going to give it some relief on that also. And when they go to bolt this up to the part that it goes to, they won't have to fight so much. There we are. All right, we're here at Sabre. We've got our parts dropped off. We're good to go from our door to yours. Whatever you need done, 24/7, we're always open. Thank you.